Hey guys, number one Marmaduke fan here. I just got T-Bird and Throttle number 3, and I also got the variant covers. So I think I'll show off the variant covers. This for cover for issue 0 is an homage to John Byrne's famous She-Hulk cover. This is a homage to the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns cover. And I know this was a Cable cover, but I don't know the artist. After Liefeld and McFarlane. There we go. All right. So, and he put the regular cover flipped on the back. So, T-Bird and Throttle, when I reviewed issues 0 through 2, I said I'm really, really happy with this series. I picked up on some of like the political themes Josh Howard is bringing in, and in issue 3 they become more overt. And what I love about Howard's writing is he is using politics in such a way that he just presents something that is of our time and of our current situation. And he even like has like characters who will use like, racist, sexist, fascist language, right? So they're clearly coded as sort of left-wing SJW types, but he's not just saying, he's not just complaining about SJWs. He's using that thing from real life in a story in such a way that it makes sense, because this is really all about due process. This is all about innocent until proven guilty. This is about not judging someone you don't know. And the fact that there's a mysterious kind of plot point that's built up through issues 1 and 2, and you're gradually given little bits and pieces of more information. So that fact means that as we're reading, we don't know the whole story, and we're really interested to piece it all together and see what's happening. And there's a big bomb dropped in issue 3 that instantly made me go back and read issues 0, 1, and 2 again. I think last time I mentioned I would actually not read issue 0 maybe until after you read issue 3, because I feel like it cues some things. And what's especially nice about issue 3 is some of the characters who we've met, we're getting a little bit more additional subtlety to them. Josh Howard is really good at bringing elements he wants to work in later issues, early on in early issues, so I even appreciated the first issues more the second read through. So let's just hop right in. So spoiler. This is a top comic of all time that's being created. This is a passion project. Josh Howard, he could be on Batman books, writing and drawing Batman books for the big bucks. He's doing his own thing, and I'm loving it. This is a real talent who deserves to be encouraged and supported, and you don't want to miss it. All right, with the spoilers out of the way, one connection I kind of made is there's a little bit of inspiration of The Incredibles in this. There's a lot of different inspirations that Josh Howard mixes and matches, like the fact that T-Bird has the thing in his chest. It's kind of like Tony Stark. The fact that he has kind of like this super strong power set that's kind of like Superman. The fact that he's kind of old and bottoming out, that's kind of like the Dark Knight Returns. Even the art style, little elements of Batman, the animated series. So where was I going with that? Okay, so one of the things he does that I like is he takes all of these little inspirations, but he makes it completely his own thing. So previously, T-Bird bottomed out, kind of like Mr. Incredible. He wants to be a hero again. He has no path or direction in life anymore. He doesn't know what to do. So he took on a mission to investigate the Lunarians, the moon people. He barely got out alive, and some footage of that has been spread around to slander him as going rogue to kill a bunch of moon people. Cutting back to Earth, we find out that there's all these people who basically worship moon people and are apologists for moon people. Moon men life matters, and they've decided that he's the angry, white, toxic, sexist, misogynist, racist, xenophobic Nazi enemy of the moon people who want to blow us all up. And there's some like great stuff about the media. So one of the things this reminded me of was like the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, and before that, the Covington Catholic kids, where before the Covington Catholic kids, I kind of knew, the mainstream media is biased. You got to take what they say with a grain of salt. But I kind of want to remind you that these Catholic kids were standing around, a guy who runs up to them banging a drum in their face, and people start spreading around a clip of the guy banging a drum in the kid's face, and all of the mainstream media decided the kid was at fault. And a lot of them with blue check marks behind their names, with big editor positions at journalistic outlets, were saying they were mad at this kid because they hated his white face. And that drove me nuts. That for me was kind of like a palpable reminder that what the media does to innocent people, it's not without consequence. It's really evil. They have an evil effect on innocent people when they spread lies and trash about them. And then there's this self-fulfilling thing where the media selectively reports stuff, and then the idiots buy that and they go out and they yell and scream, and then the media reports on the people who are going out yelling and screaming because that's their target audience. So all Josh Howard does, though, to basically skewer this is he kind of pokes fun at this. Like the reporter's name is Beta Cuck, right? something like that for CCNN, and the protesters kind of like have little mementos and codes, like the red tape over the mouth for silencing women. T-Bird lied, Moon Men died, right? So and there's some that are clearly like Antifa types. And that's another thing that's from our time period. Antifa started becoming more and more of a news item. And I want to remind you that the initial response to Antifa from the mainstream media was to write puff pieces on them, basically until citizen journalists recorded and distributed footage on other platforms. If it wasn't for citizen journalists and other platforms, we would probably still be getting little fluff pieces on Antifa rallies to this day, where the media doesn't have to directly lie about anything. They just have to be selective about what they show. You don't have to lie if you only present bits and pieces of the truth. And T-Bird's problem is that little bits and pieces of the story have been presented to slander him, but he's never been able to clear his name, and he's never really forgiven himself for the things that he has done wrong or that he's blaming himself for. So his daughter, Emily, is dealing with the problem of all the tolerant, open-minded people judging her and being closed-minded to her because of who her dad is. And she makes a friend who herself is the daughter of an old-timey superhero, and they become two cool superhero girls together, right? This is very genuine. That they feel very human. While they're going through that, there's a lot of like flash back and forth where T-Bird kind of remembers his glory days as a great hero. Man, Throttle, dang. And Throttle, one of the things I said about her before is she struck me as a very moral character, where during a time when T-Bird was going through a rough time in his marriage, he suggested they go out and train a bit, and Throttle kind of laid down the law and said, no, I'm not going to be going out with you one-on-one. You're a married man. Go to your wife and work on your marriage. So that really struck me as like a really moral moment for her. And what we're finding out in this issue is there's a little bit more complexity to all these characters. So Throttle, when she was younger, was a little bit of a tease. Like there's a scene where she's showing off a tattoo on her butt, and that's right when the wife walks in, right? So Throttle is now, we're kind of seeing that she's a human. She does have, we've seen that she has this moral center to her, but that's in contrast to kind of like her being younger and stupider, I guess, when she was a kid. The protest escalates, and Emily punches a guy who insults her verbally. So she's complex. Yes, the guy's being an asshole. He's getting in her face. He's saying a really personal, nasty insult, but she's the one who hits first, and of course that's going to create the media sensation that, oh no, pro-fascist superheroes people attacked innocent protesters, right? You can already see the lies and the problems building up for everybody. Let's see. Jumping ahead. Okay, some of the supernatural stuff we saw earlier is showing up. And I wanted to call attention to this. It represents the triumvirate rebellion, the three who broke away from the imperial hexad, embraced the elements, and forged a brave new world. So I would bet money that's an allusion to Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, which, in addition to 1984, are the two best pieces of fiction ever for describing like what we don't want for it, why we don't want a dystopia, right? So whereas 1984 kind of focuses on socialism and Big Brother obsessively watching everything and obsessively controlling everything, Brave New World is a little bit more about a capitalist scientific dystopia where they just build everybody to be a perfect little cog in the machine. It's a really odd book because it's sort of skewering communism and capitalism all mashed up together into this ugly mishmash. And you can see scientists talking about how, oh, we want to make hybrid pig people. We want to grow babies in test tubes, right? That's basically Brave New World, and I'd highly recommend that. So the point is Joshua Howard has good references or ideas in his head for when he starts writing. I really don't want to spoil the thing at the end because it's such a hook. You really need to read this to get it. Like my little back and forth isn't going to do it justice, but we finally get some answers to the big mystery that has been building up. Back cover by Otis Frampton, one of the most professional comic pros on Twitter. So I can't spoil it. I really can't talk about it because there's no way to talk about the plot and how it's building up all the layers nicely without basically like rehashing the entire plot. Just take my word for it. I have good taste. This is one of the best comics ever. I've bought it twice now to collect the variant cover issues. This is a world-class act. Get on T-Bird and Throttle. Hopefully he'll have variant covers or back issues available for his next campaign. Issue 4 is coming. Get on this. You will love it. I'm number one Marmaduke fan. I love you guys. I love Josh Howard. Knock out issue 4, bud. I can't wait. Catch you later.